tape it for so long. Okay, I think we're live. So
okay.
I'm Autumn Walker, and I'm here with Christy Cross. You can see the principal.
Hi.
There we go. And it is Monday, September 25th, and we're going to be talking about. Basically, I wrote down like my main goal of this the first part of the interview is how can I help you, assist you in achieving the campus improvement goals. So that's our first. So my first question was, what do you see? And we've kind of discussed this already, but the biggest problem, the biggest concern, what are your biggest concerns with looking at the campus improvement plan?
Well, you guys did a good job last year with, they did a good job of bringing some of you veteran teachers that have been here for a while to help design that, since they had a bunch of different interim people. Mm-hmm. So it looks good, but what we're going to do is we're going to tweak it based on our newfound needs, which is a targeted improvement plan, since we are now considered a year one improvement required campus. So what we'll have to do there is, starting from here on forward, we'll implement some targeted elements into that plan as well. So some of the goals will change slightly.
When does the new taper come out?
Anytime.
That's what
It'll be anytime online.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It should be, because we're in September. So, and who knows, it may be there this week. I don't know.
Okay. That's how I was thinking. Surely the taper comes out soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It'll probably be before October board meeting set up.
Okay. That's one of my.
But so we're going to have to tweak that plan just a little bit by adding some of the feedback that we've received from parents, community members, and staff. So we'll add our targeted elements. I envision you helping me, like we have discussed already, maybe lead one or two of those campus advisory meetings and work up an agenda together, and I'll help. You will help lead it. You've already been given access for editing privileges, so you're already considered a part of that team.
Yeah. Okay.
We will work together as a team to edit our campus document, as well as correct the needs assessment to reflect our budgeting measures. That's the one thing that really wasn't tied. There was no financial budget attached to the needs assessment, so that has to be there since we are a Title I campus. Right. Those types of things. So mainly see you assisting in editing that.
Okay.
And getting us on track where we need to be, where the document is truly a functioning, working document that we refer to and use. And oftentimes a campus improvement plan is not a document that's ever looked at twice. And I can say I've been guilty on occasion, because you do get so busy in the role. But we're really going to focus on making it using active.
Right. And that's what I mean. I want to, like you said, it's not just the document, it's that it's an improvement plan and what are our goals. And I do love that. I've seen definitely with you and Ms. Davis both that data is important and a huge piece. And I feel like in the past it hasn't been a living document. I mean, it's just been something.
Most of the time it's not.
Right. So in using it as a guide, and that the things on it are what we're going to use. And that's what I know that to gather the data you've used the team interviews, that was part of that. Yes. And I know it kind of they kind of go together, what is it called?
The TIP and the CIP.
Yes, they go together.
Yes, TIP is targeted improvement plan.
Okay, and that's
what they call it,
for being IR. So we have a TIP for IR. Okay.
And fortunately, since we're just year one this year, it is a targeted elements plan.
Okay.
That's different from what it's been in the past. Whereas as a year one, we're not as restricted, I think, is what the plan looks like. We're basically come up with our targeted elements, and which we've done.
And what are they? So what are our targeted elements?
Our targeted elements, we only have two, and I can actually read them out loud because I don't want to get them wrong.
And is this looking at the data and from the team input? Or okay.
This is both. Hold on, let me make.
And that's what. And what is she called? The SIP? Is that what her name was? The lady.
Our first targeted element is implement RTI interventions with fidelity across all campus grade levels.
Okay.
And then there's lots of things that fall under the strategies within how we're going to do that.
Okay.
And then target element 2 is to provide implement the balanced literacy model with fidelity across all campus grade levels.
Okay.
So we're focusing on achievement with what we have to remember, because a lot of the big issues here were lack of leadership consistency, behavior and discipline.
Right.
Those are not things we can automatically control.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
in a targeted elements plan, we pick something that I know and that we know as team leaders and those that are going to be working this plan know that we have control.
And you
I
can
can
measure.
control
Right.
what RTI looks like. I can control what data we pull.
Right. And you can prove, are we improving or not improving?
Based on the data.
Right.
And then like for number 2, balanced literacy model, which we've already started, y'all had training on Friday. The guided reading plan and the daily
Well, and
vibe.
that's what I was going to talk to you about too, because, well, I kind of broken up. I mean, I dug into our school improvement plan, of course, a campus improvement plan, and I kind of broke down, the elements of demographics, student achievement, culture, climate, staff quality, all the, how many, 7 pieces of it.
That's critical.
And I was like, which one of those could I really help you with that what could I help the improvement to show the data with? And we had talked about a lot of it was helping getting the CFAs going, tracking progress. And I guess we've gotten those for math. You've decided what you're going to use for data, or could I help you do that?
The academic coaches and Ms. Turner are supposed to work help us.
Okay.
Because what we're going to do, we're trying to be consistent across the district.
Gotcha.
Elementary.
Yeah. No, that's
So
perfect.
we have a good, the PM, which I have a new form where we're going to do demographics on it as well.
Oh, okay.
So it goes a
Awesome.
little further. The one they sent me originally didn't have the demographics, and then Shannon and I were like, well, we need to be tracking all of it. So
To match
it's the
more
same
like
form with
STAR.
some additions, some fun additions added.
Awesome.
But then
Okay.
we've requested, principals have requested, we want to have a math, something how, and so they're pulling in the academic coaches to help. Because I can design one, but they want it uniform across the elementaries, and then for writing.
Gotcha.
So those 2 we're still waiting on. We have the reading,
And I was
and then we
looking
have a map also. Math
to go with the maths test. Gotcha. So
Yeah.
we'll have a.
But I was
that's
trying to
good
come up
data.
with individual. Like I have it because this is for the whole class, like your whole class, the
Gotcha.
sheet that I'm giving
Uh-huh.
you guys. So then, do we just make another copy individually? Because you want one in each of the folders that we're gonna do. And then the class sheet that's something that the principal
Right.
get. Like these are
Well, we
my
do-
6 classes of first grade. I don't want to look at every
No,
single folder.
Agreed. We have the graph that shows the levels that they're moving for PM
Mhm.
and PSI. But there's no sight words. We have charts, and so because
So
broken,
the individual, yeah.
we have
something.
stuff like that.
But when someone like me opens that folder,
What can they?
I can see here's the reading data,
Mhm.
or here's the one form for reading,
Mhm.
here's the one form for math.
Right.
Whenever we go to RTI meeting, or if I need to forward something to special ed,
Mhm.
it needs to be that simplified.
Gotcha.
So we're going to work on that. I mean, that's what this year's all about,
Okay.
is putting those systems in place.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so in a previous class, one of the projects I had to do was with Dr. Rodriguez. We had to come up with a research plan. And so I had created a plan that hadn't been put in place, and it was based on our campus improvement plan. So I pulled that up, and it was with the guided reading model, making sure that we were implementing the guided reading piece, and just why it wasn't working, because obviously it's not working. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if you dug into that data completely, but I do, and I had to do the research behind, like I researched Fontes and Pinnell, and I did all this reading articles about, and it really helped me believe in the program if it's used correctly.
And here's
And
like
so-
a reading resource for observing
Perfect.
reading and literacy.
Okay. And that's what that's what I came up with. I was supposed to, and I can share that with you more, but I was supposed to like go and do some observations and do some questionnaires with the teachers just to, and based on the research, what if they were doing it quality. And again, we have brand new teachers, nothing judging, but seeing where we are. It's not about, and hopefully the teachers would understand it's not about you. It's not about catching you. It's about how can we improve the program, and seeing are the pieces in there based on Fontes and now what you should be doing for guided reading and what's really going on. And I admit, when I read it, I was like, oh, I'm not doing all these. Like I didn't understand what guided reading really was. And Friday was really beneficial that they did explain things in a new way. And again, we read research articles and different things, and it was helpful. It was pretty funny also. I have to share this real fast. One of the articles said, children are not a level. They are, children shouldn't be labeled, books should be leveled. and the room like erupted, like because everyone was so upset that that's how we grade kids.
That's
so
true.
yeah, and so there, and she was like, well, we're gonna have to bring that up with the principals, like that they were the grading system. So that was an interesting conversation to be had, and we all agree they need to be leveled to work with them to improve, but their grade, we're not so think that their grade should be tied to their reading level.
No, actually,
is that's what it is right now. Basically, whatever reading level you are is what grade you are, because they can't be higher than the reading level. The reading levels are like it's reading level, sight word level, and PSI level, and but it tells you they can't. So if they got and whatever the standards and EE and sight words, and which wouldn't happen, your sight words and your reading level go hand in hand
together.
Yes, but PSI doesn't always. But it used to be so. If they had back in the day, it was like. So they had USS or NSS, they would get the N. They couldn't have an S. Or if it was UNS, they couldn't have an N. They had to have the U based on their reading level.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and poor babies, if they come to me on a U or not, I know it's not U. I can't remember the new levels. So if they come to me on a U, say they grow. Well, there's no way they're ever going to get to that S or E. Does that make sense? Because so they've worked so hard and they still have.
They're performing at their ability level.
Yeah. Which I mean, I get,
but I
see both sides. I was going to say
you can't go into intervention. Well, I mean, you could hear, but you couldn't forward something to other people outside eyes looking at it, going, okay, well, they have all these. Why are you sending them to me? So I see where with that
I know where
that problem.
I agree. I know where it came from.
Yeah.
But and I think
when I'm with you, I'm always err on the side of the child and
well, and we wish it would. There was other factors that like can they run?
But even now, this is not
that we're not grading.
Maybe that's what they came together. I guess with I wasn't on this committee, the grading guidelines committee, isn't it? Now where they're meeting. It's not as
the wording is different now.
Negative.
It's exceeds expectations, meeting expectations,
approaching. I like that better when you're talking about levels like that.
Agreed. And then
because then the parent has an idea like, oh, okay, we're not meeting the level of where we need to be instead of a you. Like, okay, because to me that's such a derogatory.
Yeah. Well, and they're like, and they used to say that, N is good, but when there's only 4 in their parents' head, ENS are passing, N and U are fail in their head. You know what I mean? Even if we tell them that's not true, that's how they would always see it. So, of course, I'm sure these new letters are going to eventually take on that meaning also. But hopefully, anyway, so that was one of the projects I had done that I could just to see where we are with guided reading and see if it can improve. I don't know. That's one of the things we did. And then also I discussed vertical alignment. I know that we talked about that. And if I could help with, I see basically that when I'm doing this project, I'm going to have activities I can do and then being able to evaluate the project, having a formative and summative, showing data. So kind of like what we're doing for the IA, I'm going to need to be able to, so I can totally help improve modify and edit the campus improvement plan, which I want to do, and we had Marie, I'm sure will help me. We have all those.
All of y'all
can edit it.
It did send y'all an email about you having the privilege.
I don't think so.
Because I've set up the committee.
Okay.
It took me half a day to do that. It better have sent something.
I don't think I got an email about being able to log on to.
Should have.
I can double check, but I don't think I did get one. But But yeah, so something like that. So I'll totally help with that and coming up with what activities I could do to assist with one of the key. And I know, like we said, vertical alignment, which I could see where the vertical alignment piece, which that's a different another committee, but that's I could see where that you could show how, and it could even be just interviewing teachers. Do you think this was helpful? Or like I have to have what activities I could do to assist in that and how could I invite participation, what resources, and then I do also have to lead the faculty meeting or professional development session related to, which it doesn't have to be. It can be related to the school improvement plan or it can be another need that we have. And I was looking on October 9th. What are we doing for October 9th? Is that a school?
It's an extension from Friday.
Okay, so we're going to do balance literacy.
Yeah, again. It's going to be probably, that's all I have right now on that day.
So it's not a school. It's not
no,
doing
and then
something.
it's the 20th is parent
Conference,
conferences.
that's
will
what
be
I
on
written down,
campus.
parents conference, okay.
And then I'm hoping November 10th. Well, they're waiting for principal input, so we'll see.
Okay.
But
I didn't
the
know what
9th,
that
they
day
had
was.
on their continuation.
Okay.
If y'all didn't finish, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
well,
what
we
it
did.
says.
We did the morning. We did reading. In the afternoon, we did writing.
I'm not gonna say that it's not. Tomorrow's our principal meeting. So
Oh, okay. You'll
I
know
think
when. Yeah.
we'll find out tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I didn't know because I'm supposed to
I have
do.
you down as a campus formative review user, so
Hmm.
it should have sent emails because I had to log all of you in.
I did. I
'Cause
really
it said
did.
send user his or her credentials via email, and I haven't checked. So
I don't think I got one, but that doesn't. I
that
will
doesn't mean you
check.
didn't, right?
Right. I will
It comes
check.
from check your spam.
I was about to say, and I
It
can
says
check.
it comes from 806 Technologies.
Okay. 806 technology.
'Cause I had it checked to send you guys your credentials. And
Okay.
well, if you didn't get it, if it goes to spam, then I'll know to let everyone know that.
Yeah, credentials for CIP. Okay.
'Cause I did it that very evening or that next morning after we talked.
Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, and like what could I do to like have, so I have to have participation. What resources do we need? Any concerns about diversity, ethics, safety, and will it grow me or others professionally? So I'm supposed to come up with an activity that's doing all those things. I know. I like that ties to one of our.
Well, the vertical we just created because from feedback from staff, they really wanted the vertical committee.
Mm-hmm.
And there's about 6 people on that one. So, but if you can't be in all those places at one time, is
I
the
cannot.
thought on
Yeah.
that. And then what was the other one you said?
What about, well,
guided
doing something with the
reading?
guided reading, just seeing where we're at with that. Does that, and that ties into the
You could do
Tap.
that. And then
Something with
that
the guided
observation copy of that form I gave you because I'm really considering using that.
okay. And I could do it during, well, is anyone doing reading during my conference time, I wonder?
Oh, let's see.
And it should be
probably
just-
maybe 3, 4.
And it should just be a quick walk. I mean, just a quick, and part of it, I will create a survey that and it doesn't even have to be everyone. I think on my project, and I can share the project with you, I'd said just like a new teacher and an old teacher, like a first year teacher and old teacher. So especially after having that workshop Friday, it'll be interesting to see what knowledge they come with or what, and I could observe I could do that observation quick, or someone else could do the observation. I just use the data from the observation even.
I like that.
So
I'm considering, and also I'm probably going to do the daily 5 book study.
Okay.
To revisit that
Okay.
because we have so many new people. We're just now getting all the books.
Well, I could do
they're
something
supposed to
like that
order.
and seeing if that helps, or something that I can have, like I said, a formative, a summative at the end, showing that how they feel that even interviewing them before, interviewing them after, helping them implement it. That would be the resources, a book. And how do I invite participation? Would you make the new teachers or just invite them?
Well, you could come and do it through New Teacher.
Okay. I do have class Monday nights. I have class at 4:30, but I can come
No, you couldn't do it then.
Well, let me see. I don't have class every Monday night. So, it just depends on the schedule. That's the
Well,
I know.
maybe the 4th Wednesday of the month instead of, because that's when it's
team
just
leaders.
team leaders.
Yeah, so we could do that.
Then new teachers wanting to have conversation about the daily 5 could do that.
Okay. And that actually would cover more than one of our school improvement plan areas.
I have for that.
Yeah.
Already created.
Oh.
So,
Well, there you go. Okay, that
You
would
wouldn't
work.
have
And
to
then any
overdo.
concern, diversity, ethics, safety. I don't think there's
we
anything
beg, borrow, and share in this business. Trust me.
Perfect. And will it grow me or others professionally? Yeah, that would be
Absolutely.
good. And I don't,
Well, if someone did do it, I'm going to do it. So
Well, I don't mind. That
one
would
of us
be-
can do it.
to save you some time.
Okay.
And I feel it'll help me get better too. I'm pretty confident in daily 5, especially at
You can choose
First
daily
grade,
5
yeah.
or you could choose fundamental 5, which is a real short, easy.
okay,
easy, and
either
I
one.
love
So a
it.
book
So
study. Good.
it may be that one you want to do. I don't know.
Okay.
But
then-
I will do one or the other with them.
Well, and then that would be leading I could just take one of those 45-minute
That's leading
sessions.
professional
Yeah,
development.
that would be leading the
Yes, it is.
professional development. And it's related to our school improvement plan.
Mhm.
I
Both of
already
them.
asked about October 9th. That's not your day. I was like, maybe I could help her that day if she was filling in stuff for plans.
I
But no.
have no idea what that day is other than that's all it said for now.
Yeah.
We're
I
probably
was
all
going to
gonna
tell
talk
you
about
about a Friday. What I loved about Friday, we
Yes.
we got to sit with teachers from other schools. That was my favorite part. Just hearing,
good.
yeah,
The
other
feedback, that's good.
other first grade teachers that, oh, they're struggling with the same thing, or oh, this is how they're doing it. And I always love Miss. I didn't sit with Paschal, but Miss from Scott Johnson. She's the amazing first grade teacher. Been doing it forever.
Aw.
But I sat with people from her team who were like, this is how we're doing. Like we start writing, which I know that's an area
It
too.
is, most definitely.
That we struggle, which fundamental
Yeah.
5 with that, and we struggle in first grade with writing. I mean, that's our weakness.
Well, yeah,
for
we're
sure.
so focused on fluency and sight words that sometimes that falls by the wayside. We really need to look at what can we do for like a bullet journal or interactive journaling. Like,
Mhm.
question yourself. So what do I do every morning, like during breakfast?
Mhm.
Can we journal? Can we do something?
Mhm.
Because
Well,
that was a requirement where I come from. Part of your day was journaling, and you could journal in all the content.
yeah,
And that made it really nice to share with parents
right.
when we did parent conference days, or I did have to call someone.
Well, and
in
that's
have
what
a
she
visit.
showed me that they did a morning. It's so simple, but our babies are having to write a story with the beginning, middle, and end. And I'm like, what does that? And we've asked the coaches, like, what does this look like? Can we have model papers? Like, what does that look like in a first grade? For a first grader to write a story at the beginning, middle, and end. And well, she had a great idea that they do. The beginning, every day they do a news story. A kid shares something they did, and I did it this morning. I'm like, I'm doing this Monday, and I don't know why I hadn't thought of 5 minutes. So they tell you where they went for the weekend, a detail about it, and then how they felt. So you have that beginning. Some little girl said, I went to the museum. I saw a dinosaur. I saw huge dinosaurs. It was awesome. So it's a beginning,
That's a
a
story.
middle, and then
Story.
and I think for
And
us
they
it's
get it because
simplifying
we use the graphic organizer.
Yes, and I drew the picture. I had it like drawn
with
3
the bubble.
pictures. And then I had the 3 lines. They wrote 1 sentence for each for now. And we
Yeah.
discussed how could we make this add details to it. She said, I went with my family. We saw
That is exactly what you do right there.
And I have to laugh though, because we were doing, that wasn't really what we're supposed to be doing at that moment on Friday, but she showed us something. We're all like, we want to know what you do. So we had her show us, and later on, that was what they want us to do. But it just shows me how teachers are though. We all were listening because it was something we wanted. Does that
That's
we
it.
wanted
The
to
rest
learn.
of it, I'm zoning not on out of here.
Yes. But it just, I told my table that I'm like, but look, all of us, we want to know how to write. This is something we're stressed over. We want our babies to write. So we were all engaged listening to her. And that's what's hard is how do you get teachers to be motivated to care, to learn? And I'm passionate about that. Teachers is my helping teachers. And so it was really a neat example of that. And then later on, that's what they wanted us to do. And we were like, we already did this because this is shit we wanted to see. And it's so simple.
Then your actual calling is more of a coaching.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, as a principal, you're hard as teachers too. Yeah.
You're coaching. There's just so much more. You don't get
that
much contact as you wish you could have.
Well, and I do love it. Paper and organization. Sometimes teaching's hard for me because I am very a paper. I'm very organized. That's kind of my husband.
You have to be.
Yeah.
But that part can be the stressor too, though. There's a lot. Every year it seems like there's just one more thing added and another thing added. But if you're not hyper organized, you won't make it.
Right.
It's just you can't. It's not physically possible.
I've seen that, unfortunately.
It's not physically possible.
Yeah.
But you'll be good if that's where your heart is. I like the adult teach piece, and I'll be doing a lot more of that once September. So that's how I feel like once September's over.
I know.
Because what makes me happy is being in classrooms with teachers.
Yeah.
And kids.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes you have to really get creative on that.
Yeah. You've done a good job. I mean, we see you every day. I see you. I do.
You see me, but you really need to see me.
Yeah.
And you will once TTEC starts.
Yeah, I know what I was going to say. You've given us time to all feel comfortable in our
own
rooms.
Everybody, no one should come into your room and cause anxiety in September. I mean, that's just like hatefulness.
Yeah, and good old Harvey caused more. So,
well, and you're just getting to know your kids. You need that. That's why there's a
That's what I said when the coach. I'm like, give me with the behavior coach. I was like, okay, I might need some more help, but not right now. I'm still figuring out what makes him work, what makes him.
He's getting Milo this week.
Oh, good.
So I let him know all ago.
Good. Yeah, and he's still. I mean, every Monday's a new day though. It's like, okay, we're back in our routine. This is how we do things. Yeah.
He's off structure. Yeah.
So, but we making it. Okay, so I think I'm good with that. How are we on time? Okay, could I do something? Okay, so we were thinking about Fundamental 5, Daily 5. We'll keep discussing that, looking into that. But that's a good, I feel like that's a good fit. That'll fit that. Okay.
I think you'll like that.
And how we could evaluate the project. We could easily do formative stuff. I mean, that will be easy to evaluate. Is it working?
We use walkthrough data.
Yes.
Is it the learning visible within the teacher's classroom setting?
Perfect. That's, yeah, you know what you get it. Thank you.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. And we can do questions, errors, or whatever. And then just this along the way while I'm doing so you think the fourth Wednesday of the month?
Yes, that would be good because they're already used to being here on Wednesdays.
Right. And I can try to come maybe one Monday, depending on my schedule. I haven't even met with my second class till tonight. I meet with that man, my second, I have 2 classes. This is all practicum stuff.
And new staff needs all the extra they can get.
Right. I hope my volume is on.
There's no sense in putting teachers that have already had Daily 5 unless they want a pressure.
We'll offer it to all.
I offer it to all.
Agreed.
But I invite a certain select group that I'm targeting for the need.
Okay. Sounds perfect. Okay, so I think we're good. That makes me feel good with that. Okay, and then we're heading the reading, which is one of our main reading and writing, which is included.
Yeah, and that's why I said that's why I gave you that form a while ago. That's probably going to be what they're separate outside of my walkthroughs, but before I implement such a thing, I will explain it in PL.
And be looking for this is your look for
balanced literature reading. Okay. I want to go through it. It was just shared with me today, and then I want to make sure it fits our needs.
Awesome. Yeah.
So that's part of also.
Well, and like I said, anything I'd help with guided reading. Like I have done that research and passionate. I do believe in guided reading.
Oh, I do.
And that's why those kindergarten teachers.
If it's done with all of its parts,
yes,
and if it's done early enough,
yes,
then every child as long as they have the ability and the IQ, will be reading. And
I think that for whatever reason, the kindergarten teachers, no one has explained that to them. Like I feel like they're teaching them. They get frustrated because they're not learning their sight words. They get frustrated because we're on phonics, and no one's helped them put it. That's my opinion. Like,
well, y'all were all together Friday. Did that help?
Well, there was a very small section on guided reading. Like it wasn't a big piece of guided reading. Okay. And so I don't think, and I get it. I can see with those low babies that you think they can't read this book, but the more you put it in their hands, especially those Rigby, that's the other thing is you've got to follow, you can't pick random books. And Fontes Pinel, they believe it's just certain books that are created a certain way. Until I did that research, I had no idea. I did know to pick Rigby books, but they're following a system that the kids have to learn. Yes, and you can't just read any book. You've got to keep up with because they teach certain sight words in certain order, and then you're using those pictures to figure out the other words. And
the visual cueing is what helps.
Yes, they have to learn that pattern.
Then it's the repetition. It's the visual cueing
and the repetition. Yes, and that's what they do, and they do great at. And these kids can learn it, and it helps. The sight words are over and over again. The more they see them, the more they learn them.
Right.
And it has to be at school. It's not at home, unfortunately. No one's gonna. You can try, and I try everything I can to motivate them to read at home.
I know,
but
that's gonna be my prayer for this campus is if we can teach and see just that improvement in that balance in the reading. I will have felt like I did something then.
Yeah.
Which we're going to have the systems because I'm just a system brain person.
You get reading though and know it.
But
and then pass it.
If I can just see that will make it would mean a lot to me because I'm so passionate about.
Yeah, and maybe they'll go more into guided reading next time because that would be helpful to understand the true meaning of guided reading. And like I said, we touched on it, but I felt like we did more of shared reading, which was good. They were good, and shared writing. We kind of discussed more of those pieces, shared and what was another name? Like read alouds and shared reading and modeling writing
component.
More whole group stuff is what we focused on last week.
Now we may just have a coach.
Yes,
I don't know. They're supposed to.
I was told that too. I thought whatever.
I'm hoping I hear something.
On Friday, I was told that somebody was at somebody's campus and
don't believe everything you hear.
I agree. Well, and I will say we have felt like the stepchild here for a long time.
Well, we're not anymore.
I agreed. And that's why Friday, when all that went on, when there was confusion, that's why I was like, just, Christy, be straight with her. This is what.
Well, totally.
I loved your honesty.
The issue is they CC me and all their stuff because I've asked them to, right?
Right.
Because I want to know what you're talking with my teachers about. And then all the rest of the coaches had emailed.
That was
I had to send specific names for every location. So I did that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so then
yeah.
my assumption is the presenters.
Was going to share it out.
Okay.
And they did share it out
Everybody,
with some people.
there, yeah. So do you see where that went? And
Well,
I'm
and
thinking, okay. So then I was telling Miss Anne Marie, I was like, okay, I thought that's what they were doing. Let me check. And of course, I'm going through all of my email.
Girl, no.
And then
Like
I
I said,
found
I can't
that. So I'm
imagine.
like, okay, well, I have to own that because that one
Right.
presenter only shared with certain people.
And that's where I'm like, we've got, well, and like the progress notes, they were like, we didn't get them, but they did. I'm like, we've got to have consistent, which I feel like when we went to district wide,
So
there
I mentioned that.
there hasn't been consistency.
Mhm.
When Tammy was on campus, we got everything we needed. But
Mhm.
then since it's gone, and I feel like a lot of times they would always blame, well, you're a principal. I'm like, no, ma'am.
Oh, well, they fixing, I had my
So-
2 cents about that. I said,
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like,
if I'm
let
not
Christy
presenting it and you ask for information from me, then I expect the presenter to share it out.
And it was no big deal. It was no big deal.
Well, but it was
So-
embarrassed me. That's what it did.
Right.
I'm like,
Well,
no,
I
I'm
know
not
what
gonna
you
play that.
but we appreciated that you were like,
Because I certainly overlooked that.
right, but you get 200 a day, and she's
Depending on the
presenting.
day.
So, like you said, you would have thought, and it was not a big deal at all. So,
I know,
Yeah.
but
okay,
I felt
T-test
bad.
real fast.
Yes.
What challenges are you seeing with and we use T-test model? We know that we've had our
mhm. I
meeting
love
about
T-test,
it.
by the
Okay,
way.
you
I love
love
the
it.
model.
Awesome.
But
Okay.
now this is also my 3rd year to do it. I've
Okay.
had a first year to learn and experience, and then
Uh-huh.
second year to investigate and tweak, and then this year now I feel the most confident about this year using the model.
Well, good. That's awesome.
I believe it's a growth process. If
Uh-huh.
it's done right, it will be exactly that.
Mhm.
But so you want to know the challenges?
Yes. What's the
Okay,
challenge?
the time.
That's okay. I agree.
Unbelievable
Mhm.
scheduling nightmare. And only because that you have so many other meetings and things in your
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
And when you're trying to really organize those pre-conferences, and then you have the evals, and then you have post, principals don't have 2 hours most days, much less 3 or 4. So
Right.
just the scheduling piece
Yes.
and trying to make other people who like to schedule things for you understand this is a priority, period, end of story. Because then once you do that, people forget about the paperwork side of it.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
it's not just 3 hours per staff member, it's more like 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Because you want to truly provide the feedback and all of that.
Right.
Otherwise, then you wasted the other 3 hours
Right.
doing that.
Right.
It's the whole point is to help grow the staff member. So
Right.
I spend most of my Sundays doing the paperwork side.
Yeah.
But you have to.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
because it's to be a good principal, people need you to be present in the
Mhm.
moment and helping them. And to do that is just not enough hours in the
Right.
day.
Right.
So you kind of got to donate.
Yeah. Which that's I guess teaching does prepare you for that. But
You do. And then here's the thing. 1 week is different from the next. Like the first 6 weeks of school, it's 12-hour days, 6 days a week for sure. It really is.
Wow.
And then as it slows down, you're still 12-hour days, 10 or
Right.
11. It doesn't matter. It is what it is.
Mhm.
But then maybe on Sundays, only 3 or 4 hours.
Gotcha.
And then you're literally the only thing I'll do on Sundays will be my T-test reporting
Mhm.
and feedbacks and Monday message. That's
Gotcha.
going to be my goal.
Well, good.
And then
Yeah.
responding.
And I
to
love
emails.
I love hearing about how you organize. Those are the things I need help with. How you organize things. How you.
Like I said,
Yeah.
one of
I
my
like
personal
watching
goals
you.
is
Yeah.
time management. And it's not because I'm not a good time manager. It's
It's-
I'm always looking for opportunities to make it even more efficient
Agreed.
for myself.
Yeah. That's where I'm at right now. How do I make that time for my family and my kids?
That's
and
key. And that's
yeah.
you
Yeah.
just make families first.
Yeah.
And if not, then the job won't be near as
Yeah.
meaningful.
And thankfully, I have a very supportive husband who gets education.
Same here.
So,
I did
yeah.
too, still do.
Yeah.
But now that I don't have young children at home, it's a non-issue for me.
Yeah.
So this is my life.
Right.
And
Right.
it's really a big difference this time around for me,
Oh. Okay.
you know, because I walked away from principalship because of my family
Right.
a few years
Right.
back because it was too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they started becoming preteens and teens.
Right.
And
And they need you more almost at that stage.
yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that. My
Wow.
mom will tell you that too. Okay. And it said, what process or documentation does campus or district use to assist teachers in need of assistance or professional growth?
oh,
So what
well,
do you do?
T-test is not meant to do that.
Right.
You get an idea as a result of your T-test who needs more help.
Right.
Excuse me. I have a file that I've always had that I use different formats for, depending on what the growth area is. The district per se doesn't have. I haven't seen one that was generated.
Yeah.
I just, from years of experience, have my own folder of some templating type things. And then you just always remember to set goals for that staff member, a clear timeline for completion of those tasks that you'll provide. But I can share all of that with someone that may want it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But district-wise, I don't think so.
Yeah.
If we do, I don't know about it.
I haven't. So I was having for another class, for this class, for another presentation, I was having to find out the governments of our school, like the flow chart of how our leadership is. But
we used to have one here years ago.
I cannot.
We do not have one now.
Okay, there is not one. Okay.
We had one years ago. Well,
I went online, girl, and I searched that website, and I even
No. So it was like a little T chart.
Yes, yeah, and I looked up other districts have it, and I thought, well, this might be part of. Probably don't know
reports to.
Right, yeah. Who is?
Y'all just all know here you report to me.
Right.
We don't even have to worry about beyond that. And as far as I'm concerned, principal wise, I'm calling whoever I think I need to call.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but I was like, I don't know.
I know
this chart. So I made up. I kind of based on the department because we have two. We have the superintendent, school board superintendent, and we had the interim. What is she? Curriculum instruction, and then the man, Mr. He's administrator business and something. So then I was like, I guess transportation's under business. So I was trying to think which ones were under business, which ones were under education.
Typically, you have, and now we do right now. You have Linda Daniel, who is going to be your
federal
curriculum side. No.
Linda Daniel. Okay, gotcha.
She's the new chick.
Yes.
She'll be your curriculum and instruction side. And then you have Mr. Stanford, who's business.
Gotcha.
Well, and then that tree filters down, and that's where food services, transportation.
Gotcha. Would Peems be on that side, or is it?
Peems might be in the curriculum. Let's do with the coding and things like that.
Yeah.
And then
which is money, so I was thinking maybe that was the bit.
And you have executive directors and stuff. Like that.
Which I guess Mr. What is his title? Executive
Brown.
No,
Mr. Brown Boris for human resources.
Yeah. What is the title now?
That was
human.
Yeah, I don't even try.
I know. My husband, he did not like that.
HR is what I call it.
Right. So that's business. True.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying. I guess
the curriculum instruction side is a beast all in of itself. Like you have your bilingual, you have your different programs in it. You have your bilingual, you have your Title I, you have all of them.
Right. Yes. Okay. Like I said, I was going into the other departments. So, and then school, I did need one for school. So it's principal and then assistant. And then the counselor, she'd just be directly, she's still above. And what about like the interventionists? I guess everything else is equal. Huh?
Everything else is pretty equal.
Yeah.
The hierarchy at the campus level is basically you would just have me and the assistant.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the counselor would be the third person to step in the event. She and I were immediately called off.
Right.
But then after
these are questions I had never really thought, and I thought, but it's true, I guess.
Well, then after the counselor revert to team leaders.
Gotcha. Yes, I had thought of that. Yes.
It'll revert to team leaders.
Yes, I did think of that. So it'd be okay. So like I could that's what I was thinking. You almost treat it counselor, team leaders. Gotcha.
And interventionists are just kind of basically a little
extra teachers
spot by themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
Sped the same way.
Yeah, but it's something I thought, well, maybe that would help if our district, if we all not campus-wise, yes. I kind of always known the campus, but it's true, the district, I'm like, and it's almost like there really should be I don't know.
Well, I just know Amy Turner and I talk once a week.
Yeah. Which she's in charge of elementary education. Gotcha. Okay.
And then after that, I don't care who's still.
Yeah, I know.
That's the beauty of where I'm at right now, is I'm not a first-year principal. Right. I'm not someone that doesn't have over 15, 16 years in the business. I'm confident with the direction that I want to see this little school go.
Right.
And then I just tell people what we need. Like, this is what we need. Yeah. They ask me, what do you need? I'm like, yep, sure do. Here's our list.
Aww.
Or, and it's been, so far this year with the new system they've got, is working beautifully.
Well, good.
Because now I see SPED's taking some interest in sending support and things like that. I'm rocking right along. I'm good.
Good. Yeah,
Good.
because that does get muddled up there. Like, right, where's sped fit in? That's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't know.
It's getting clear.
Good.
We're
Good.
getting clear.
But that's true. I mean, once I realized that question, I'm like, oh, that is something that should be clear. And if you go look up other districts, even in Texas, I was like, well, let me look up. And some of them are very clearly laid out. And I thought, I never knew that this was a need that you
Well,
should.
it would help, well, especially sped. Sped can get real muddy real quick.
Right.
And,
Agreed. Okay, and we're doing good on time. I wish this showed me how long. I don't know.
It's about 5 till 1.
Yeah, and I'm 1:10. I have to back, so we're pretty good. Only other thing I was ask you about was, one of my questions was parent involvement, which I know, like, we're having a meeting Thursday night. So, any other?
Working on the parent involvement policy today.
Oh,
Sure am.
awesome! You're right. Just ideas of what you were doing. I will say, last year the principal, she was like real passionate about parent involvement, but not in the, like, I think she kept thinking, like, she'd plan stuff once a month for them to come in, and that didn't happen. They didn't come. Like, they're not, they're not.
Well, first of all, if you do anything, if you try to do too much, they're not going to come.
Agreed.
Because most of them have multiple children and possibly at different campuses,
100%.
and then
Or they're in football.
you
and
have to
baseball.
remember what town we work in,
Uh-huh.
and it's a lot of shift work.
Yes.
It's a lot of
Yes.
those types of things. And then, someone told me a long time ago, Christy, why do you always do your meetings at 5:30 at night? Why can't we do a morning meeting or something? I'm like, you're right. So we're going to look into doing a little bit of that on some of these professional days, possibly having some different type of involvement
I like
time.
that. Yeah.
I think we have just decided somewhere that it has to be in the evening. No, with all the days we have fit into our calendar.
5:30, that's different than sometimes they kept doing stuff at 4, and I kept thinking, I can't get there.
Well, 4 o'clock's not ever going to be
Good time
appropriate.
for parents.
But you have to think about your parents and who's your audience, and ours work shift.
Yes.
A lot of them. And then the other part is life happens, and it's busy, and we're going to try to do something every 6 to 9 weeks. I'm not going to say we're going to try to do something every month, because you got to think about it. Already we've had meet and greet. This week we're having Tays and Title 1. Next week we're having open house. That's enough.
Yeah.
So my thing is, we're not going to do anything maybe November, December, but it's going to revolve around the kids. Thanksgiving luncheons, things like that.
And I love that you're from here and know that. No, because I agree. I'm like, we are working. There's not stay-at-home mamas. There's not.
No,
this is not who we are.
Face it, what are we doing at 5:30 at night? I want to cook supper for my family.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up to the school but now there are certain things that we are required through Title I to do, and we will do. I hear make and take is real popular.
I could see that. Yeah.
So I'm thinking we'll do stuff. We'll probably do a little bit more in the spring, so that everyone can recover from all this hurricane and this late start and all of the upfront events, because we already have, like I said, Thanksgiving, Christmas parties. I think we have enough up front of the year. Now we'll do some stars and some make and take probably in the spring.
Gotcha.
But
I know we were discussing that on Friday, because one of the articles we read discussed how parents don't. And I could see this as a cycle. They don't know how to read with their kids, or they don't know
I think
how.
too, let me tell you this, we'll target the groups. Like we are going to do Latino literacy.
Right. I like that.
Where it's a targeted invitation. Maybe first grade parent
Early
night. Early childhood parent night.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to make everybody come all the time, be specific. And it may be your tier 3 students. You're inviting
those parents
to give them an understanding of what tiers look like and what are we doing,
and how
since your baby is struggling, and be more focused with that parental involvement.
Gotcha. I like that. Yeah, I was wondering, like,
but that's like one of those things.
Districts have a parent liaison? Like, we don't, as a district, have that. Do
well, we have Juanita Hall,
but they're social workers, so they're not really the correct me if I'm wrong.
No, they're social, more social.
So they're not really the education side. I wish that was something
It's the same thing. We don't have a grant writer in the district.
Right. And I know you've worked with another district. Is that something that other districts have as parent liaison? I call it liaison. I don't know what the type. When I worked they're basically like your Juanita Hall. But but they do it all. Gotcha.
They would do it
I guess
all.
when I worked at a very low school in Louisiana, we had she had a place that parents could come to. So you're struggling, they could come during the day when they were off or whatever to you. And you could, because you're the education side, you could say, well, this is what you could do with your baby. Let me give you some stuff to do with that baby. So she was a location where there was resources for that parent that they felt comfortable coming to, where they could walk to at this school. It was
like that. No, we don't have that.
It was where they could walk. It was centrally located where those parents could walk to her, and you knew your kid was struggling, and you could just come see her.
And so that's what I'm thinking about when we say some parent night, doing something like that, targeting those struggling groups,
right?
Because those are parents that I want to be in SPED. You hear it all the time. I want this. I want that. Okay, but that's because a lot of them don't understand the school process.
Right.
So we need to be more focused.
Agreed.
Some of the things we do instead of just trying to do foo-foo to say we did something.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's like, okay, what purpose was this?
Thinking about
that's like this week in PLC, we're going to talk about, well, what does open house look like at HES? Because I don't know. We're going to work together in pods this week and design open house together.
That. Yeah.
Because I'm not going to come up with it.
And then I'll say too, we need to probably have the same thing before parent teacher conference, because that sometimes can be a
hot mess,
scary
I'm
process.
Sure.
Yes, for
I'm
teachers.
I've always designed ours in the past. I've done it. Here's the invitation. This is what it looks like, and these are the expectations.
And it's a great day. It is great.
It's awesome.
And I have so many parents come.
There's your parent involvement. They're there. Give
Yes.
them the information you need them to have.
Agreed. You model
because
it.
they're not going to come any other time.
They emphasize that on Friday. Show them this. Show them.
Give them what you need them to know.
Yes.
So
and they do come
because that's on the 20th.
Yes.
So therefore, it'll probably be that Wednesday. We will pin down exactly, if not the Wednesday before.
Yeah.
We probably won't even wait that late.
And it's a good. Okay. And the last thing was my. Which I think we already discussed. I just want to check with you because I'm supposed to meet with my site supervisor to discuss discipline, safety, and school crisis. I just wanted to check with you. You said maybe do Miss Davis.
Miss Davis will be the one
better
to do
for that. And then also
I'm giving that turn that over.
Yes, and I agree. That was her. So yeah, because I'm supposed to assist with the fire drill, shelter in place, or other safety drill.
Yep.
Which also the police. Mr.
I'm curriculum. She's safety.
Okay. Then I'll schedule that time with her, and I can do disciplinary plays referrals or do walkthroughs with safety concerns. I almost thought it'd be fun to go with him on one of his. The police officer. His safety. He did one last week or a couple. When I was supposed to meet with you, he'd done it that day.
Oh, really?
A safety.
The intruder thing. Wasn't it?
Yeah. So I thought that would be interesting.
That would be fun.
Get with him on one of those. If that was
doing
okay
one
with you.
Yeah, that would be
okay.
fun.
So I'm going to meet with Kathy for that. Those are the only three, and the other one I'll have to do is a professional development time, but I can do that with their fundamental 5 or daily 5, whatever we're checking in with. Okay, thank you. I know this was a lot of your time.
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm totally proud to do it.
Well,
thank you that you wanted me to do it.
Yeah, and I'm excited to. And I'm trying to.
We're going to be great.
Organized.
We're going to be great. I was telling my husband. I said, this is just a little slice of heaven.
Aw, well, good. And anything I could do to help, anything that you're like,
if you keep me on track with campus improvement plan, you'll be my best friend.
Okay.
I'm okay.
And Anne Marie's passionate about it too. I think together we've been a good.
Keep me focused when it comes to that. I will be right as rain.
Yeah.
Because right now, all I'm consumed with is Taze and Title I right now. But campus improvement needs to be addressed as well. So they're just all there together.
Okay. And like I said, you saw the hours I have to get. So anything I can do for you, or we discussed anytime I could sub or help out anyway. So whatever you need, you let me know.
I'm very rarely not here.
Yeah. Well, and I've been good about my hours. You've
got plenty.
I feel like, I'm doing mentee stuff, which you've allowed me to do.
Well, what you need to do is and Kathy, she's got several days that she has to take. Like we have vacation. If we don't take, we lose them.
Right.
I lose every year, but that's okay.
Yeah.
When she's out, I'll just get a sub for you.
Okay.
Pull you up.
Okay.
That'll
Those
help.
are good lesson days. Like I said, we did that a lot last. And I saw you talking about T-test.
And actually, for the most part, she, other than our special children, it's been nothing. I mean, everything's running really well. So I'm
good.
Proud.
Good. Good.
So
it'll be like no, what I was gonna say when I observed at other schools. I could see, that's what I mean, they were all having to do those T-test conferences. Every principal I observed, that's what they were. So I could tell this guy, and they were like, I can't change this. This has to happen right now.
Well, they
Everybody
waited
else-
till the end of the year.
Yeah.
And they
I don't know. It was March. It was probably March. I mean, they were pretty, it was,
Your secondaries will be because there's so many.
yeah, it's great. I don't know how they do it. So, well, okay. I'm going
All
to
right.
stop my
Well,
broadcast
awesome.
and hopefully